Hi, everyone.
Good morning, everybody.
How are y'all doing today?
I am wonderful, Miss Froggy. How are you?
Awesome. I'm good. I see Michelle, Maureen, and Sharon.
Yes.
I hope you guys are well today.
Yes. Yes.
Goodness knows that I am, and I'm doing pretty good. Let's see what my weather is. I totally forgot. Hi, Diane, and Samantha, and Candy.
Yes, ma'am. How y'all doing today?
Let's see. It is 71 degrees Fahrenheit and partly cloudy. Hey, Brent and Amy.
Hey, Brent and Amy.
And James
Money.
Money. It's good to see you.
84 and sunny. And
wow.
Humid.
That's warm.
Yes. We're supposed to hit over 100 today, so.
Oh my gracious. I'm only supposed to go to 75.
Mm.
Oh my goodness, that's warm.
We're going to be hot today.
Wow.
But that's all right. Summertime brings hot weather. That's just Mississippi for you.
It does. It means hot weather. Oh my goodness, I can't imagine it. That would drive me nuts.
Yeah, it's very warm.
I am supposed to have thunderstorms in the afternoon.
Well, we usually work up one about at least once a week, if not more. So, you know.
Oh, wow. Well, it sounds like you need one now with all that humidity.
Well, that's what causes all the humidity is the rain every evening.
Oh.
So, you know.
That's just, I couldn't stand the humidity. That I'd melt.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's pretty nasty. I don't go out. That's why.
So, what have you been working on?
What have I been working on? Yeah. Well, I worked on this shawl that I'm wearing.
It's beautiful.
But I made into a sweater type
That's
thing.
Gorgeous.
And I'm working on another shawl at the moment by Kathi R.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yes, it's very, very beautiful.
Well, among all of my, look at that gorgeousness, guys. Isn't that beautiful?
It's not finished, but it's just super soft.
That's stunning. Maureen, I don't like your heat. I'm just saying. Hey, Maribel. It's good to see you.
Maribel Young, how are you?
Long time no see.
Yeah, where Maureen's at, it's yucky, sticky too. I remember that.
Yeah. That's awful.
Mm-hmm.
Connie does amazing work. I'm just saying. I'm always impressed.
Then I was impressed with the shawl.
That I don't know how you did that.
Shawl.
That blows my mind.
Triangle shawl.
You took a shawl.
I sewed up the sides and put sleeves on it.
That just blew my mind.
So it would stay on my shoulders and all better.
I never imagined to do that. That blew my mind. I love it.
It's soft. It's latte cakes.
And it's gorgeous. Hi, Ellie.
Hey, Ellie.
Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. I love that. I need one.
Thank you, everyone.
I need a shawl that's a sweater. I think that would be.
You just make a big triangle and then sew it up the sides. And then when you get it sewed up, just go around and around, you know, and put you a little bit of sleeve on it. Doesn't take much.
Hey, Carrie.
Hey, my Carrie. How are you this morning?
We keep missing each other on the phone. You keep calling when I'm in bed. So I have to call you after the live.
Yes.
Because you call me after when I'm in bed. Oh, my gosh. That's awful. Well, I have been busy. I still have my Sherlock. I still have my Sophie's. And I'm working on a sweater. Hey, Jetton. And I'm doing it real quick amigurumi to finish up and turn in for amigurumi wars. It's a bit still.
It's so cute. I love his little face. He's so
missing some bits, but it's supposed to be a small.
I love him. He's so cute.
Get him done.
And I love the sweater. It's so cute.
No, it's silly. Hey, Carrie. Oh, it's so good to see you guys. So I thought I would do some knitting. If you have some needles, join in with me. If you don't, that's okay. You can always refer back to this video. So, hey, Sierra.
Sierra.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sierra. But,
oh no, YouTube did unsub her.
I tell you.
You guys check your subscriptions on people that you've always been subscribed to. YouTube is doing its little funky button pushing or whatever it is it does. And there's a lot of people that have been unsubscribed from a lot of channels.
Darling Pat Dancer.
Hey, Pat Dancer. Good morning.
So I hope you guys are interested in seeing some knitting. And my sweet, sweet Connie is going to watch the chat for me because I have to pay attention to what I'm doing.
And I'm going to watch her knitting too because I don't know how.
Hey,
Frenchie. I want to learn. And she said she would teach me really quickly.
I'm going to teach her. Won't take much to teach. So I'm going to adjust this down.
Isn't her hair so cute like that, Sierra? I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. I love it. So I'm switching my camera down to this one.
Yeah, you guys check your subscriptions when you go to the channels that you watch a lot. Just take the time to look at them and, you know, make sure you're still subscribed. Make sure you're getting all your videos, all that good stuff. Because even if you're there every day and you thumb up every day, then YouTube is still doing their little button pushing, and you can get unsubscribed. And they're doing it to a lot of people. And there's a great number of them, too.
They are. I'm using I Love This Cotton today.
Love that stuff.
And this is done in River Run. So I'm using that. I'm using some Marbles needles.
Ooh,
those of you that wonder. They're very pretty. I'm going to show you real quick. They're real super pretty.
Nice.
They come with cords and stuff. They're by Knitter's Pride.
They're beautiful.
And they're an interchangeable set. So that's what these are.
Love those.
Because this color is done in blues and greens and browns, I'm going to use the 5.5, which it is written on the needle.
Yes, none. Yes, ma'am.
It's written there. So if you don't know what your needle size is, you can always get this is a needle gauge, and you stick it in there, and you'll be able to roll this back a few times, a couple more, and you'll be able to find your needle gauge.
Cool.
And this is a needle gauge. There's my needle gauge right there.
Wow.
And this tells me the needle gauge. And if I turn it this way, it tells me the needle gauge.
Ain't that cool? That is just cool beans right there. I never seen that done.
That is my needle gauge.
Cool.
And I love this. This is one of my favorite things. These are magnetic to keep them closed. But
cool.
It's got it on there.
Magnet out there at the dot.
Yep, the little magnet is the dot right there. This is one of my favorite needle gauges. I absolutely love this. You crochet while I knit. Hey, Kathy.
Yes, ma'am. No doubt about it.
Of my needle gauges.
And I missed Kathy. Where is she?
Kathi R.
Oh, I see her now. Good morning, Kathy.
This is another needle gauge, and it's got them all written on it.
Hey, right Steve. There. Good morning.
Hey, Steve.
He wants to know where you found that gauge at.
Oh, I can't even remember. Now you're asking me tough questions, Steve.
That's hard questions. Hey, Nancy. Good morning.
It's written on it. I'm trying to see if I can read it on the camera. Hang on.
Oh, goodness.
It's so hard to see.
Almost.
I might have it upside down.
I think it was, yeah.
Cocoa Knits.
Mm-hmm.
It's from Cocoa Knits, honey. Hey, Nancy. It's from Cocoa Knits, Steve. I love this thing because it's smaller than carrying the big gauge.
Yes.
You know, this big gauge was this where you would size your
Steve,
needles.
good morning.
And that's for people that can't read the size on the needles, especially the metal ones. You can't see the size on the metal ones. So there's a bigger gauge, and then they have these small ones. These small ones are amazing.
You can put that in your pocket.
Goes right in your pocket. It's perfect for sitting in your bag. I love these. Honestly, I want to get 3 or 4 more. It's my favorite knitting gauge.
Yes.
But just saying, it is.
Now, if you had a project out or a swatch, maybe the big needle gauge has got the gauge readings on it. You might, want that more. But as long as it was, you were out somewhere just checking your needle size, then the little one would be the best.
They don't have one for crochet hooks like that. To measure your crochet hooks, you need one like this, where you can slide them in. They slide in. This is for crochet hooks. This is for needles. Okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, Nancy. Did you know you can measure around your crochet hooks, and there's some that will tell you what size it is.
You can also do it this way.
How big around they are.
Lay it down and place it on there, and it will tell you how many millimeters it is. Same thing with a crochet hook.
Yep. Hey, Kim Anderson, good morning.
They want to know if you have a pattern for your sweater.
I saw that. I did not remember who the pattern was. Do you remember, Froggy?
No, I sure don't. So
I can't remember who the pattern was, but any triangle shawl will work.
Yes.
Any triangle shawl, any pattern, stitch pattern, whatever you need.
This is an interchangeable needle. And so I have to attach the other needle to here. And
it screw on?
Is it what? It screws on. And then I have a key that come with my needles. Paperclip works fine. Safety pin works too. So you basically just screw it on. Now, you're going to want to tighten it down just to make sure that it doesn't come unscrewed while you're knitting. And there's a little tiny hole.
I don't just rolled it over. There it is.
There it is. You're going to want to put the key in that little tiny hole. Right there, like that. Then
it just stays in it.
Yeah, it'll fall out if I turn it upside down.
Well, that's what I mean. It's supposed to. You're supposed to just leave it in there.
Yeah. Well, you put it in there, and then you hold it and turn your needles tight. It gives you leverage.
Oh, I get you now. Yeah, that's cool.
And then you take the key out, and then when you want
to that before.
Yes, and when you want to take your needles apart to use this cord for something else, you put the key back in and you unscrew your needles. See, it comes unscrewed.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So that's the way to do it. So I'm actually going to put these together, and I'm going to show you a simple way to cast on. Not the simplest way, but for me, it's the simplest way without messing up. I'm putting that key back in my container.
Yeah, so you don't lose it. Yeah.
And I'm going to use a stitch marker. This is an opening stitch marker. You can see it opens.
Leave it back.
And see? And I can use this with knitting.
Or crochet.
Either one, which is my favorite, is to use them for both. So all I'm going to do is make a slip knot. And I should have made it the other way, but that's okay. The new way. Anyway, there's my slip knot. And I'm going to put it on one needle, as you can see. And I'm going to
you mean for the magic circle way?
No, not magic circle. I just needed a slip knot.
Okay.
Okay, here's my slip knot. And I do not throw. I am a continental knitter. Because I'm a crocheter, I knit continental. So I'm going to keep my tension on this yarn just so that it doesn't keep it spinning. And I am going to go in that circle right there. See, I went in there. Yep. I'm going to wrap the yarn around.
Yes.
And I'm going to pull it through.
Yes.
See, I pulled it through. Then I'm going to pull it through pretty far. And I'm going to take this needle and I'm going to put it on this needle here. See? Now both needles are back in it. And I'm going to take it off. Well, I'm going to put it on this needle. Okay? Now I have 2 needles. I have 2 loops on my hook. On my needle.
There's my corn dog.
Hey, Lesley.
Then, she wants you to learn her something.
And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go back in here. And I'm going to pull up a loop. Mind you, I've got my arms Purl away from me. I'm going to pull up that loop. Try not to split my yarn when I do it. I'm going to pull up a loop. And I'm going to put it on this needle. And there I go. I have 3 loops now. I'm getting my glasses. There we go. Now I have 3 loops on this needle.
Yes.
And I'm going to keep going for as many as I need to cast on. This is called casting on. And another way to do this is called knitting on. This is a knitted cast on. Now, if you notice, I stopped taking, hey, Lisa. I stopped taking my needle out.
Hey, Lisa.
Pulled a loop up. I turned and I went and I put my needle in there. And I didn't take my needle out because why? I'm just going to make another stitch. And I'm going to turn it and I'm going to put it through. It's in there.
You missed it.
Thank you. I'm going to put it through. It's there. Now both needles are in that loop. I'm going to pull me another one. And I'm going to go back on. See? Cast it on. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do this for like 20 stitches.
Okay.
And then that way you guys can see. So pull it through, turn it, and get your needle in it.
That is just so cool.
Now, what you guys aren't really probably noticing is, see, they're all spread out. They're all right here. They're not tight. Okay. What I'm doing is I pull this loop through. And as I put it on here, I am pulling my index finger up to tighten that loop.
To make the loop go back on. Okay.
All right. That's how I do that. I want to tighten that loop up.
Yeah.
And I go back in the same loop.
But not too tight.
Yarn over. See, as I go back in that loop, I'm pulling down on it. See, I'm pulling down on it so it doesn't get tight. Because you don't want your stitches tight. And I pull it up. And I turn. And I go back in. And as I go back in, the index finger pulls. So that the loop's not this big.
Gigantic, yeah.
You don't want one that big. Yep. And you keep going. And we're going to yarn over. We're going to pull the loop through. We're going to turn. We're going to put it back on this left needle.
That is so cool.
We're going to keep going. We're going to yarn over, pull the loop through, turn our needle, put the left needle through, and now we have another loop. These are all cast on stitches.
That's just as smooth as butter. You're doing that.
This is one of the easiest ways. Now, what I'm also teaching you is I'm teaching you how to knit while you don't realize it.
Oh.
And we're casting on, and we're casting on, and we're casting on. I'm getting a few more. And we're just, you see, you can just sit here and start going. Yep. You can just get yourself just moving along. Yep.
Kim says as much as she didn't like it hot, she can handle it. She agrees that humidity is ridiculous.
Yes.
They have a Harley and a convertible Jeep and have been enjoying long rides after work in the open air.
Oh, that's awesome. 4, 7, 10, 14, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay. I have 25 stitches now. For what I'm going to do, you know, if you're going to make something, you need a certain number of stitches. So
yeah,
I'm just going to do 25 for now. Now, whenever I begin something, depending on the pattern, what I'm going to do is something different. The cable's really curly on me. I am going to literally slip my first stitch. I literally just slipped it.
That's slipping, just putting it off one onto the other.
I just picked it up and I moved it over, just like that. Now, see how close these needles are? Very close together. That's normal.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to go in the next stitch. I'm going to wrap the yarn around. I'm going to pull a loop through, and then I'm going to take this loop and knock it off. And now I have 2 loops on my right needle. I'm knitting.
So you let the other one off?
Yes.
Just completely off.
Wrap the yarn around, pull a loop through, knock the other one off. There's 3 loops. Okay. Now there's 3.
How do you keep the ones in your right hand from getting too loopity, too big?
Watch. Pull it over. I'm pulling with the finger.
Say with your finger.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to wrap the yarn around, pull up a loop, knock it off. Wrap it around, pull up a loop, knock it off. And you notice my hands aren't really going very far.
No.
I'm not going far at all. And then I'm just sitting here. Now I'm sliding my stitches down, if you're wondering.
Okay.
It is cotton yarn after all. Yeah. And I'm doing a cotton yarn on an acrylic needle. If it was on a metal needle, it would slide real easy.
Yeah.
So this is an acrylic needle. So now I'm going to keep doing it. Up, around, off. In, around, pull it through, off. In, around, pull it through, off. And that's knitting right there. We go in, around, pull it through, off. In, around, pull it through, off. Cool. Right there. Now, it's what we're going to do all the way across.
Okay.
All the way across. Just like that. Now, don't expect your cast on to be perfect when you first start knitting. It's not going to be. And that's okay.
With look a little
practice, yeah, with practice, it'll get better. And then the last one, you need to knit it. And then it's off. And then you've got all your stitches. Now, what do you do? See, I'm on a circular needle. What do? You just turn it around. Like that.
Oh, cool. Now,
the reason I'm slipping a stitch is it makes a nice, even edge. Now, you don't have to do that. You can knit the first stitch. Okay, my recommendation for needles for a beginner would be bamboo because it holds on to the yarn. It doesn't make it slippery. Metal needles are for people who want to go really fast, and the yarn's really slippery on metal. So on this side, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to slip the first stitch, and then I'm going to just knit away.
So you slip the first one every time.
I'm going to
just do it again.
And then I'm just going to knit across.
Okay.
And that's all I'm going to do. And this is called knitting garter stitch, where you knit every row.
Okay, show us what you do if you lose one.
Okay.
Lose a stitch. You know what I mean? If
lost
one slips off your hook or whatever before you get it.
Do you see it?
On the next one.
There it is. It's off.
Okay. How do you get it back on?
What I do is carefully grab it with either needle or I'll take a crochet hook. My fingers. See, that's a crochet hook.
Grab a hold of it.
And I'll grab a hold to it. See, now there I've got 2 of them on there. See? And then I'll pull it up and I'll put my needle through it, and now I've got it.
And it's back on.
And I put it right back on.
Okay.
See?
All right.
That's all I did.
Okay.
How thick
can you find?
30 millimeter. Yep. 30 millimeter, sweetie. And you just keep on.
That's how big around the knitting needles are, right?
Yeah, that's that. You can get 30 millimeter knitting needles. These are 5.5. These are the equivalent with an eye hook.
Okay. Would the cable be the same size on a big
30 millimeter?
Yeah.
Yes, it would probably be the same size cable. Cables come in different lengths. Okay, they come in 24 inch, 16 inch, 24 inch, 32 inch, 36 inch, 40 inch.
But they don't come any bigger around.
No, they're always thin.
All the same.
They're always thin. Yeah.
Okay.
They're always thin. So, yeah. Yeah, I've not seen one thicker. I don't know. Little Carrie, have you seen thicker cables? Because I never have.
I was just wondering if maybe that's what Ellie was asking. If the
I've seen bigger.
It was the needles that got bigger or the cables.
No, I've not seen the cables get bigger, but I've seen the needles get bigger.
You would think they'd make the cable as big as the needle.
She hasn't either. Yeah, because see, if you look, I'm using the middle needles, and there's bigger ones right here.
Yeah,
and I have much bigger ones over in my metal ones. Yeah, I have
the cable would be as big as the hook.
No,
when you slide it off on the cable, it's
like
the same size.
No, it's like this. It stays right there, and it's to keep it where it moves easy.
So
it
doesn't matter that it's
it's so that it's easy. You see the difference in size between the cable and the needle? It's so that it slides real easy.
Goes back onto the needle easy. Okay, I get you now. We're on the same truck now, girlfriend.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Ellie says, cool. She's making her granddaughter a blanket with thick yarn and couldn't find any locally. So her husband made her some needles with dowel rods, and that's what she's using. Isn't that cool?
That's awesome. Yes, Steve. It is called River Run, and it's in I Love This Cotton.
Yes.
Yes. And then
isn't it a pretty color?
Now, once I get this garter stitch built up some, I will show you one more stitch. There are only 2 stitches in knitting. The knit stitch.
2?
The knit stitch and the purl stitch.
I thought there was like knit to the left and the right and the whatever. Hey, Timmy.
Hey, Timmy. Yeah, what you do is you can decrease left or right. But honestly, it's just knits and purls.
But it's all still basically the same.
It's all knits and purls in the direction that you decrease or increase, or whether you yarn over or whether...
does that not make like a double knit?
It makes a hole. Yarn overs make a hole. Yarn overs make a hole.
Oh.
Yes. The yarn overs make a hole. Now, let's show you something different. I got a little bit more garter stitch here. Now with garter stitch, you're just seeing the bumps. See the bumps?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like the back
just the
bump.
bumps. And the bumps are the same on both sides. They're just bumps.
Okay.
All right. Now I'm going to have to do a couple of rows of this for you guys to see. But I'm still going to continue to slip my first stitch. Now,
okay.
let me pull some yarn out of the skein. I'm doing that to make it easier for myself. Sorry, guys.
Oh, yeah. Always. Knitting or crochet, either one. You got to pull your yarn out of the skein.
Yeah.
Get it out. Yeah. Get it ready for you.
Now for this, if you've noticed, when I'm knitting, the yarn's in the back. Yarn's back here behind the needles. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring the yarn forward in front of the
needles. How do you get it around the needle?
I literally just bring it in front of the needles.
No, I mean when you're stitching. Go ahead, show us.
Okay, so I'm going to bring the yarn.
10 days of school left. That's
wow. Cool. Hey, Tori. So I brought the yarn in front of the needles, and I'm going to, instead of going in the stitch this way from left to right, I'm going to go in the stitch from right to left.
Okay.
See, I went in the stitch from right to left. And then I'm going to take my yarn and I'm going to wrap it around it and I'm going to pull out a stitch and I'm going to knock that off.
Okay. Same way as the other, only it's in the
I'm
front.
basically doing backwards. So yarn in the front, go in, right to left, wrap the yarn around, pull it through, and then knock it off. So I've made 2 of those. These are called purls.
Oh.
So purl is basically the opposite of the knit. So we're going to go in, wrap the yarn around, and go down. In, around, and down. This is the way I purl. A lot of people purl differently. This is my continental way of purling. You can purl all kinds of ways. Just like you can knit with the yarn in this hand and bring it around. This is just the way I purl.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've seen people do that where they kind of throw it around.
They're throwers.
Is that when they say they're throwing it? That's what they're doing?
Yes. They call themselves throwers.
Okay.
I'm not. I am a continental, and this is just my particular way of doing it.
Looks a lot like crochet.
It is.
The way you hold your hand.
Yes. It's just easier for me. And it's easier for me to hold and use my thumb to bring the yarn down and to go back through and do it.
Yep.
There's not a lot of movement in my arms doing it this way.
Yeah.
It's just easier for me.
It looks easier than the throwing. I've seen people that was throwers and they look like they're just jerking all over.
They do.
They do. Going real fast, but they look like they're just in a jerk. Hey, Frozen Angela, good morning.
I'm going to, Steve. I haven't got there yet. I want to knit this across so that you guys are going to be able to see the difference between stockinette stitch and garter stitch. So I'm going to slip the first one like I've been doing. And now I'm going to knit. Knit. So hang on.
It changes the look of the stitch though, don't it?
It does change the look to it. It shows you what a lot of your sweaters that are knit look like. It's going to be smooth on one side and bumpy on the other. Okay.
Well, now, what would be like you just said, what would be a good project that you would want to use the garter stitch on instead?
Garter stitch is really,
sweaters are knit.
Garter stitch is really good with see, look. There we go. Okay, I thought I knocked it off the needles. Garter stitch, I did. See, look, I knocked one right off the thing. I gotta put it back on.
Yep, sure did.
Now, garter stitch is good for dishcloths. Some people like the look of the bumpy Some people like the look of that. And others don't. It just depends on what you like. It is kind of rustic. Now, I want to show you something that Steve brought up. Your stitches will lay a certain way. This one is backwards, and this one is the lay in the correct way. You're going to eventually understand that. So this stitch, actually, I'd have to turn. I have to pick it up. It's the way it's oriented in the stitch. I don't know how to explain that. See the front leg?
It's crossed over itself.
It's twisted.
Yes.
So it has to be untwisted. So when you have twisted stitches, see it's twisted here. Then you have to untwist it. So go back in it and untwist it. That's all you got to do.
Oh, okay.
Now, guys, this is just me playing around with knitting. I'm not being neat. In case y'all wonder if I knit like this. No, I'm not being neat. I'm also not a fan of these acrylic needles.
Oh, really?
No, they're very grabby on the yarn. So I'm going to do that purl stitch again. Yes, these are better for like silk. They're very grabby on my yarn. Yeah.
So they'd be slippery with silk.
Yeah, they would be good for silk because silk would be real slippery, and you want something that's more grabby for silk.
Yes.
So putting the cotton on this is really difficult. So
what would you use on cotton?
I would use the metal needles for my cotton, but I picked the red needles, the orange needles, so that you could see what I was doing
better. Yeah.
So I'm going to purl again on this side. Oh, I did some garter stitch. Now I'm doing some stockinette stitch. I'm not making
trying to show us how to do it.
Yeah. I didn't go fishing, by the way.
You did what?
I did not go fishing. So
fishing.
I'm just
What is that?
She wrote Froggy went fishing. No,
okay,
I'm just practicing stitches. I'm just practicing stitches. I'm not doing anything important. I'm just practicing stitches. So let us show you. I'm gonna try and throw. So as a thrower, you'd have to hold your needles and come around and then pull it through. There it goes. You got to go in.
Is there a better or not a better, but an instance that would be better than
two-color knitting? Two-color knitting, because then you can hold one color in each hand. So I will do the two-color knitting with both hands. That's why I'm able to do this.
Now that makes sense. Yeah.
You could have one color in each hand. I am not a fan of throwing, but it works good when you're doing two-color knitting.
Oh, okay.
So I hold my main color in my left and the secondary color in my right.
Thank you for dropping in, Timmy. She says,
yes, thank you.
She's got to go back to class.
Thank you for coming. And now the big thing about the purling and the knitting is when you're purling, make sure that your yarn is in front of the needles. That is the main thing.
Yeah.
Look, I did it again. See?
Yep, slipped one too many.
Now, this one was slipped and it dropped a stitch. So, what does Froggy do? Now, the easiest thing to do is to get a hook and take the yarn and literally pull it through with the hook and the yarn. So you can pull it through.
That string.
You can go through like that. You gotta hang on. I gotta pull it. You gotta take it and pull it through.
Okay.
That's one way of doing it. Now, I have to do it the opposite way because the way my stitches are oriented. So I have to go through it this way.
From the back.
From the back and pull it through. And there's my stitch. It's correctly oriented. You see? Now, I got to grab it on my needle.
Put it on your hook.
And I got to put it on my, yes, got to grab it. And I got to put it on. And now watch. When I put it on,
your yarn is split.
I fixed it when I put it on here. I put it on backwards, the wrong legs forward. I got to put it and I got to turn it.
Got to turn it around.
Yeah.
Okay.
See?
Cool.
So,
hello, Rita. Good morning.
Hey, Rita. So that's actually fairly easy to fix.
Yeah.
That's why knitters have crochet hooks. So they can go and it's called laddering up. They can ladder up.
Just pick it back up and put it on.
Pick it right back up and pull the yarn through.
Pull it through the pull it through the right loop and just put it back on. Yeah.
Yep. And here's another one. Look, do you see this one? There's that one. So I'm gonna go through the loop.
Through the back. Yep.
And through this one.
Get the yarn and pull it through.
I'm gonna take the yarn through.
And then when you put it back on your needle, you have to have the certain leg forward.
Yes, I have the correct leg forward. See?
Same as the rest.
Just so, yes, just like all the other ones. And then here it is. Oops.
Rita says she just got back after getting groceries in the rain, so now her hair is all curly. I know that feeling, Rita.
Yep. So, and then you can continue on. Now, I know I didn't do much on the knitting and stuff, but I hope you guys are hopefully getting something out of this.
Is it easier to garter stitch or knit stitch?
We like garter stitch because you're just knitting, and knitting is like really fast. See, there's your knit stitch.
Yep.
That's called stockinette. It's knit stitches on one side and purl stitches on the back. This is exactly what garter stitch looks like on both sides.
Yeah.
It's got purl bumps on both sides.
Okay, so you're just taking the bump off the front. Okay.
Now, I'm going to show you a simple way to cast off. Now, I don't want it to be tight. I want it to be loose. So what I do is, this is a 5.5 needle. I will go in and take a needle 1 or 2 sizes bigger. Now I'm casting off so I don't have to hook it on the cord.
So they don't pull.
Well, I want my thing to be loose on the top.
That's what I say, so it don't pull.
Right. So it doesn't make it snug.
Yes.
I don't have to hook it on the cord because I'm going to cast off. Now, I will.
Because you're ending.
Yes. Right? I'll slip the first one. I will knit the second one. And then I'll take this first one. And I'm pulling it over top of that second one.
So you're just going to have one loop on your hook the whole time? Till you get to the end?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to knit a stitch. And then I'm going to take this stitch here and I'm going to pass it over.
Just pull it over it.
Pull it over it. I'm going to knit a stitch. And then I'm going to take this stitch and I'm going to pull it over.
You just
I'm going to knit a stitch and take this one and I'm going to pull it over. This is a simple cast off. You're going to knit a stitch, take this one and pull it over. You're going to knit a stitch and pull it over. Knit a stitch and pull one over. And as you can see, it's casting off.
Oh, cool. It's making kind of a little braid. Looks like a little braid, just like crochet.
We're going to do it again. We're going to keep doing it till I'm all the way off. Now, see, I told you I wasn't making nothing. I was just doing some practice stuff.
Just showing the stitches,
Yes. This is just one way of casting off. There are dozens of ways to cast it off. Dozens.
Really? Oh, my God.
Yes. You can yarn over, cast off. You can, yeah. Even little Carrie will tell you there are so many ways to cast off. There's a bunch of ways to cast on. I mean, it's endless.
Just depends on how you like to do it.
Depends on what you want to do. Hey, Amy T.
Hey, Amy. Good morning.
Oh, let me get my yarn. It's caught. Yeah, this is all
wonderful today. Hope you are too.
Yes. I hope you're enjoying me doing something different. And then cast this off.
She's trying to talk us into starting knitting.
Oh, I'm just showing you, demonstrating some knitting. Demonstrating some.
I want to learn. I really do. I know I'll have to have a lot of help, though. I know
it's not a problem. I'm going to meet up with some friends next year, and I'm going to teach them how to knit.
Yes.
Absolutely. Not a problem. I don't mind doing it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm almost done. And there. And there.
You can probably knit with crochet needles and crochet hooks if you watched what you were doing.
You have to watch what you're doing because you want the yarn to slide right back and forth. Now, I am at my last stitch. Hang on. And I'm going to pass this stitch over. Okay. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to cut the yarn. Just like you normally would. Cut the yarn. And you're going to take it and you're going to pull it through. Yeah. Just like you would in crochet.
You're off the camera. There you go.
There you go.
It's kind of like a crochet slip stitch.
Yeah, right there. And then you'll take and you'll weave in your ends. You know, this isn't perfect. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have an issue with the acrylic needles. But I have them in case I work with silk. But this is knitting. It
looks like a sweater. Yeah.
Yeah, it's knitting. No, I know it's okay. It's knitting. Not my best work, but it's knitting. It is knitting, and it does good.
Ellie says the thing that she loves the most is it's easier to fix a drop stitch than it is I made a boo-boo in crocheting than if she did. Okay, yes.
Well, the problem you run into with that is when you make a boo-boo 10 inches down 10 inches down in your knitting, and you want to fix it because it's really hard to fix those that are that far down. And that makes it more of an issue. So that's more difficult. I'm fixing it. My camera, hang on. So that's more difficult. Yeah, that would be.
You would think so.
Frogging the crochet is easier. You know, I mean, frogging knitting is not too bad, but if you have a problem way far down below, it's a pain. Oh, Amy T, thank you.
Look at that.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Froggy dance, super chat, froggy dance, super chat. I got a super chat, froggy dance. I got a super chat, froggy dance.
I didn't see that coming. Thank you.
Love the froggy dance. Love it.
Wow, thank you.
That was sweet.
She caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Out of the blue. Woo,
out of the blue. Bam. Yeah. So it is hey, Judge Frog It. Yes, latch hook tools are great to fix drop stitches. Yes, you can fix a drop stitch.
Some people say they use a crochet hook to do drop stitches. Is that right? Yes. Can you
crochet
do that?
hooks, latch hooks, those work really good.
What's the difference between the two?
Okay, a latch hook is a hook like a crochet hook. It's a hook, and it has a little lever that comes up and closes.
Oh, okay. Like you used to make the rugs with,
yes.
the old, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So those are cool.
Everybody had one of those. Everybody.
Those are really cool.
Yeah.
What else is, yeah. I am just curious, would people like me to do more knitting? Like, knitting a pair of mittens, mitts. Oh no! I'm so sorry. It rained.
Ew.
Oh, you poor
Rained
thing.
on her cat. Oh my goodness.
Oh, poor thing. Try the latch hook. I think that's a good use for a latch hook. Not that doing a rug is, but yeah. I mean, I'll show making a pair of socks, my own pattern. Yes, I'll do a dishcloth.
Start with the basics. Show us a dishcloth.
When I do it, I'm going to use my metal needles, so I don't feel so.
Yeah, use the ones that you're used to, because that makes it easier on you, so it's easier for us to see.
Yeah, I don't want to feel more discombobulated. I didn't think I would, but I felt discombobulated. But yes, I will do that with my metal needles. I'll do that.
I enjoyed it. I mean,
I
love to watch somebody do something I don't know how to do, I guess you could say.
Oh, no, Rita. I'm so sorry.
Bless your heart.
I
feel naked if I ain't got my watch on.
I wanted to show you guys the basics. And when it comes to like knitting needles and stuff, you can use any ones you want. You mean the cords?
Yes, Maureen wants to know, does the bamboo have cords?
Some do. I will talk with you after a while and show you a nice set to get. Because, I mean, I have everything from acrylic to metal to wood. I mean,
just like
I'll give you a good idea. Search for knitting videos and can't find the basics, like what you did. Oh, sure. You like that? Yeah, I'll do a dishcloth. Yes. I'll do a few dishcloths. I'll do a garter stitch one. I'll do a stockinette stitch one. I'll do one with a cable in it, so you guys can see that a cable is actually very easy. It's just putting the stitches out of order. Yes, they were acrylic, Sierra.
Lesley wants you to put all your knitting videos in a playlist for her.
Sure. I could do that. Yeah, it's not hard. Yes. And they are acrylics.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, I got
Kathi. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
As Kathi was saying, she likes the idea of a dishcloth because it's a good starting point for beginners. Yeah, it's not a big project. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yes, Steve. There are a lot more terms.
Like make one left, make one right.
The left leaning decrease, the right leaning decrease. Oh yeah, there's a whole lot more terms. I think I'm gonna get through the dishcloths before I show them those terms.
Oh Lord, yes, please. Don't get complicated on us right off the bat.
Honey, Ellie, I'm gonna do it live.
Yes.
If you're gonna use dishy cotton, well, if it was me, I'd use metal. But you know, when you're just starting out, you only need some cheap bamboos.
Bamboo works pretty good.
You just need a cheap set, that's all.
In crochet too.
Yeah, and with dishy, you just need a 5mm, which is a US 8 needle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could use a 5mm or a 5.5.
Do all the knitting needles have like a number on them, like you said, a US 8 or 9, and the millimeters?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Oh Lord, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Brie. Yes,
but
yes.
It's good that you qualify for it. It really is. It's a big, big help.
It'll be in the title of the live, Ellie.
Yes,
I'm so glad you guys are enjoying this. You made me feel so much better. Thank you.
Yes. I enjoyed it. It's very, very interesting. Very interesting.
You guys have no idea how much better you made me feel. Because I was afraid about how this would be received.
I told her it'd be okay.
You did. You did.
We've got some good people in our neighborhood.
I am Froggywentaknitting. It's what I am. Yes. And all these years I haven't done knitting, and I need to do knitting because that's who I am.
Yeah. And plus, if you don't do it, it gets rusty, you know.
Well, yeah, but I haven't yet. I am Froggywentaknitting. Oh, thank you, Steve.
Yes.
Oh, thank you, Steve.
Mm-hmm. See, that's enjoyed.
You
Lesley
do.
Says we need knitting. It's good to have new things in your repertoire, I guess you could call it.
Well, you know, when I first wanted to learn knitting, it was very daunting to me, and I thought I would never learn it. I took classes, and I couldn't get it because they wanted me to hold the yarn in my right hand, and for some reason, I just couldn't do it. Hey, Butcher Street.
Hey, Butcher, how are you today?
And I couldn't do it with the yarn in my right hand, and so I had to. Why would anyone?
Says, why would anyone see this activity as negative?
I don't know, Frenchie. I always second guess myself.
No, I don't think so.
So I actually had to sit down and watch Knitting Daily with Uni Zhang, who is a really good knitter. I'm doing good. And take care, Rita. And
okay, bye, Rita.
So I watched Uni Zhang over and over and over again because she holds the yarn in her left hand. And I watched her on slow-mo. And that's when I finally figured out how to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, even crocheters can knit because knitting is actually very, very easy. It's easier than crocheting.
I wonder which one came first.
I don't know. But knitting is easier.
Well, you know, the fishermen knitted their nets.
Yeah. They also crocheted them.
Mm-hmm. So, who knows?
That's wonderful, Ellie.
Yes. That's daunting to me. Knitting a blanket. That would just be like, oh, no. Oh.
I have knitted, I knitted a blanket in fingering weight yarn.
Good gravy.
My grandson has it, and it took me a year to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It literally did a whole year.
It would take me an eon to do a blanket. And
I will not.
Yarn, wow.
I won't do one out of fingering yarn again. No. Oh, no.
You learned your lesson on that one.
Now I'm doing one out of balky yarn for me and my husband.
Mm-hmm.
And I knit on that when I'm in the living room, so it's no big deal. You know, a couple rows here, a couple rows there, here and there. You know,
I knit easier to use big yarn versus the little slippery tiny yarn.
No, I could knit either one's the same. I don't like knitting big yarn.
For a beginner, say, would it be easier if we?
I think it'd be better for a beginner to use a 4-weight or a 3-weight, either one.
Oh, okay, kind of down the middle.
Kind of down the middle, yeah.
Yeah.
No, don't start with a blanket. They take forever.
No.
Now I'm doing my blanket in bulky weight yarn. It says it's a bulky weight, but it's more like a 4. I'm using that Colorama Ogo Halo, Colorama Halo by Karen.
Yes.
I'm doing that, which is more like a 4.
Yeah.
I don't like holding bulky yarn in my hand, between my fingers to tension it.
Ah, okay.
Arthritis doesn't like it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, but I'm taking my time on the blanket, so it's going to take me a year. But if I really sat down and got to it, I could knit the blanket in a few months. Hey, Joe.
Oh, hey, Joe.
Yeah, so I could get it done a little quicker if I tried.
Mm.
I just, no. No.
But you know, you want to take your time and do something really, really comfortable to you. You know, you know what I mean. If you're sitting watching Netflix, you want something that's real comfortable to just.
Yeah. Well, a top down raglan sleeve sweater is very easy to knit and takes no time.
Knit? Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, the other thing
that would be easy.
Well, the other thing that's easy to knit is socks. And it doesn't, everybody's like, no, socks are so easy to knit.
Don't you have to have a certain kind of needles for socks?
What? You can do it with circular needles. You can do it with double pointed needles. These are double pointed needles right here.
That's what I mean. You can't use the kind like you were using today.
Yeah, I can.
To make.
I can knit a sock with needles just like I was using. Yes.
Yes, Ellie. Not feel rushed. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. You don't have to worry about if it takes you a year or 2 years or 3 years or whatever. No. You know, as long as you enjoy doing it and you're not in a rush, you're just enjoying the craft that you're doing.
And knitting is very relaxing.
Yes.
And meditative.
I can see that.
You know, because you're just sitting there just doing the same stitch over and over and over. It just relaxes.
I've watched people and it just the clicking of the needles together. Just
that's why it's meditative.
Oh
yes,
I love it.
I can fall asleep knitting. Seriously,
I can crocheting.
I will sit there and literally fall asleep knitting with the needles in my hand.
I can see that.
I get the meditative and you know knit stitch over and over and over again and the click 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 click.
Like a metronome or something.
Yeah, and I zone right out and go right to sleep.
Oh yeah.
My husband picks up my work and gently lays it somewhere. Nothing comes undone.
Yeah. You know? My husband won't touch mine.
You know,
he will not touch it.
Well, he does gently move it from me so I don't rip it out myself in my sleep. Thank goodness. Or lose my hook. Thank goodness.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I'll wake up and keep
going. Like you've never been asleep. Just
yeah, see? There you go. It's very easy to do. It's so relaxing. Yeah, see, that's why I do my work. Yeah.
I go to get up and I'm like, where'd my hook go? And I'm all done in the chair around me. Yeah.
Yeah, I have the furls and he doesn't want me to lose my furls.
Oh, no. Me neither. And then usually when I stand up, it falls out of my lap.
Yeah.
You know.
It's awesome. But I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today. And
yes,
I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, Connie, for helping me today.
Thank you for asking me. That was so sweet of you.
I really appreciate that. I hope you will join All Handmade Connie tomorrow. She's going live with Southern Sisters with my crochet story, Maureen. And that's going to be a blast.
Yes, yes.
I hope you all have a lovely weekend. Please stay safe and be kind to one another. And
yes. Choose kindness.
Yes.
Because you're being kind changes you, but it also changes the world.
It does. So we'll take care, guys. Bye now.